Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we will explore the art of catching garfish by Japanese fishermen using purse seine nets in the open sea. Let's follow along to better understand the hard but also interesting and meaningful life of these brave fishermen. Halfbeak, also known as Hemiaramphodidae, is a family of fish in the Hemiaramphodidae order. The English name is halfbeak, from the Greek word hemi equals half, ramphos equals beak, bill equals beak, because the shape of the lower jaw is clearly longer than the upper jaw. This is a fairly widely distributed family of fish, living in warm water areas around the world. The Hemiaramphodidae family traditionally includes two subfamilies, the saltwater Hemiaramphinae subfamily, although some species can still live in brackish water, and the freshwater Xenarchopterini subfamily. But recently people have separated Xenarchopterini into a separate family called Xenarchopteridae. The genera in this family after separating Xenarchopterini include: the reproductive method of Hemiaramphodidae also has characteristics that vary depending on the species in the family. They can lay eggs, give birth to live young and give birth to live young. Fish of the subfamily Hemiaraphinia lay eggs, while fish of the subfamily Xenarchopterae give birth to live or mature eggs. The transfer of sperm from the male to the female takes place at a mating organ created by a modification of the anal fin, andropodium.
Luar biasa bang. Wow, luar biasa bang. Banyak banget dia bang, banyak banget nih, luar biasa.
The fertilized eggs inside the andropodium develop after 4 to 8 weeks, with a litter of up to 10 young. Freshwater smelts are only 3 to 4 centimeters long, while saltwater and brackish water species can reach 35 centimeters. They feed on insects, aquatic mollusks, and plants such as seaweed. Although smelts are not considered an important fish species in terms of fishing, although in Australia, large numbers of marine smelts such as Hyperhaphis australis and Hyperhaphis melanochea are caught, the meat is considered delicious, although bony, and is eaten fresh, dried, or smoked. In Florida, the fish are caught for use as bait, worth up to $500,000 United States dollars per year. In some European and American countries, the pliers are raised as ornamental fish, and in some places in Asia, the Dermogenes pusilius pliers are used as fighting fish. The pliers or the catfish are also a specialty of early winter, processed into many attractive dishes such as braised pliers with pepper, braised with turmeric, braised with shallots, braised with muslin, braised with Vietnamese coriander, cooked with jang leaves, cooked with luffa soup. In season, the pliers have a belly of fat, so the fatty meat is delicious. Among the dishes made from pliers, the favorite dish is fresh pliers braised with shallots. On cool days, the pliers braised with glue is very suitable to eat with hot rice with cucumber, green banana, and herbs. Because the mouth of the fish is very small, it cannot be caught by fishing but mainly by netting. The catfish is available in all seasons, but the most is still the hot season. 1. Hunting time. The best time to catch smelt is from 6 p.m. the day before until 5 a.m. the next day. Every year, when the smelt season comes, when the night falls, groups of people with flashlights and nets walk along the banks of the river reservoir to hunt for smelt. This fish is quite rare, difficult to catch, and only grows and develops in warm, sunny weather, so it is also quite expensive compared to other types of carp and perch. The Japanese half-beak fish, or sayori, is a very popular fish in Japan as sashimi or sushi because its black striped meat creates some spectacular designs, although it is very difficult to peel the skin cleanly. The word sayori can be written with 3 different kanji. It is also known as haruo kanuki. The latter name is used for large fish sold in the Tokyo area that can grow up to 40 centimeters long. It is mainly caught in the midwinter and summer seasons, but the best specimens are before and after the spawning season in April till June. Japanese sayori mainly comes from the coasts of Mie, Hyogo, Ishikawa, Hiroshima and Wakayama prefectures. We were lucky enough to catch them in Suruga Bay off Shizuoka and enjoy them fresh. They are also imported from China, Korea and Australia. Grilled or processed into himono, dried, this is the perfect snack that I enjoy whenever I have a good beer or sake. Keeping the dish simple and uncomplicated is the principle that Kazunari Noda, executive sous chef at Kumo, applies when serving sayori, a sleek silverfish also known as Japanese half-beak or needlefish because of its long, thin lower jaw that protrudes like a needle. Because of its clean, fresh taste, Sayori is often served as sushi or sashimi, with just a little vinegar or soy sauce to bring out its flavor, says Noda. If cooking it in robatayaki, just a quick grilling, along with a little lemon or sudachi, a Japanese citrus, is enough. When filleting Sayori, you can see more about why Noda stresses some restraint when handling the fish. Its flesh is soft and transparent, reminiscent of slices of fugu, the Japanese pufferfish. Often caught off the coast of Japan's Mie, Ishikawa, Hyogo and Hiroshima prefectures, the fish feeds primarily on algae and plankton, and is often found swimming in schools just below the surface. When faced with predators like tuna and skipjack tuna, they avoid them by skimming the surface. They can also grow up to 30 centimeters long, and with their distinctive long beaks, they can give the impression of being a miniature swordfish. The best seasons to enjoy Sayori are spring, when the fish are about to spawn, and fall, when they are smaller in size, but with a lighter, more elegant flavor. You don't usually find Sayori in cheaper places like izakayas, Noda notes. It's cheaper and is often served in more upscale restaurants or sushi bars. Noda, who specializes in kaiseki, a multi-course Japanese meal with seasonal ingredients in mind, is good at presenting Sayori in different forms while still respecting the fish's savory texture. For edamame-crusted Sayori tempura, he coats the fish with lean flour, egg white, and diced edamame before air-drying it for 40 seconds to get a light, crisp green finish. Cod fishing enthusiasts come up with a variety of tricks, and I'm creating my own. One of them is pictured here. Half-beaks are very good eyes, so keep Harris as thin as possible. Match value should use 0.8 or 0.6 gauge of line. It's 40 to 50 centimeters from the dot, but if you don't want to, try making the line longer, about 60 centimeters. Commercially available rigs are actually well made. Most fish are short, from fun to pompano. When there are a lot of fish you can catch more fish this way. so I make the shortest about 60 centimeters and the longest about 100 centimeters. The smaller the float the better, however if you cast it far it will not be clear. I use a float about 23 mm in diameter. For longer distance casting I use a 30 mm. A size 4 or 5 half-circle bikini would do, but I use a fiber line for fishing silk, or an Asuka skirt size 2, 3 or 4, depending on the size of the fish. The threaded needle has no jerking, so there is an advantage to getting the bait in and out of the needle easier. Shouldn't it be easier to tell if there is no tension on the needle? You might think so, but unless you let your stress go, it is unlikely to be detected. Snakehead fish are a top-dwelling fish, so it is best to use a light makee. The most effective is Amy shrimp. Mixing shrimp with rice bran is even more effective. The ratio is about 3 to 4 shrimp, 6 to 7 rice bran. If you put it in a basket, add a little less water. When the snake comes down from above, add more water. Sashimi is used to catch fish or small-sized soft, but when spread far, it can fall off, so cut the squid meat into small pieces to use as bait for a longer time. Maybe the warm bird likes to drink alcohol, but salted squid seems to be our favorite dish. You should try it. You can automatically attach the package first or put the makee in the trash, but make sure no one is behind you before picking up the device. Just before shooting the water, if you put your hand on the spool so that it does not slip out, the launch will be straight and not broken. When dropping into the water, immediately remove the silk thread, shake the rod 2 or 3 times, and take it out of the trash. Drag the device to where the makee is scattered and synchronize the sashimi and makee. This is tip number 1. Then, drag the device in a straight line a few times to create a path for the user. Repeat. The bottom half fish are also migratory, so even if you can't catch them at first, they will come back as you continue fishing. When the fish gather, waves appear on the water and you can see the authenticity of the fish and some of them around. If that happens, it's a shame. If the half is a little light, it will appear at the top. The impact is usually shifted to the left or right. Also, if you think something is wrong with the cannon, try adjusting it. They are often found feeding at home. This is because the fish are often feeding and protecting. In addition, the stonefish often jump as soon as the device hits the water. This can be entertaining and relaxing around, so add more alertness immediately.